I am gonna sell my Bitcoin. This is not clickbait. I know a lot of YouTubers use the clickbaity titles like sell now. Well, I'm selling now actually. And in this video, I'd like to show you why actually and what I'm buying in return because I'm not getting out of the market, of course. It's a good time to take some profits maybe, but be careful with it, like not too much. So if you already like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's clear up what I was just talking about. I've said a couple of times before, my target for this year for Bitcoin was $48,000, maybe $52,000, and the target is hit right now. Bitcoin reached $49,000, and we got a decent rejection right there. Overall, we are still in a uptrend. I mean, we basically just did nothing else than come back into the support zone, which was, well, it was never really resistance. We just broke through it, and it's now big support. And this vertical, look at me, now it's vertical. And this diagonal line as well. So yeah, Bitcoin is pretty much still looking good. But altcoins and mainly Ethereum is catching up. Now, what I found interesting is this, of course. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, once we had the Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin dominance dropped. What does that say? That says that the Bitcoin ETFs were completely priced in, that everybody was expecting the ETFs to happen, and they were anticipating to the news buying Bitcoin, and now the ETFs are there, they're selling off, and they're moving to the next thing. Now, what's the next thing? Next thing is Ethereum. Ethereum is finally catching up right now as well, still lagging when it comes to its Bitcoin pair. It was in a downtrend for a long time, and it now really broke down. It bounced off of this pretty big horizontal support, and it went all the way up back into this range basically. So we'll have to see what Ethereum Bitcoin does actually, but I do think that the run for Bitcoin compared to altcoins is over right now. So I said for a long time, I'm not buying altcoins too much. I'd rather buy Bitcoin and convert my Bitcoin into altcoins. And that's also what I'm going to do right now. And that all had to do with the Bitcoin dominance. Now, I want to talk about the dominance because this chart is not really accurate. It is accurate until a certain point, but the dominance is already kind of topped out, actually. Someone pointed that out to me. Because there is a chart like this, you have to understand what is the Bitcoin dominance. The Bitcoin dominance shows you how much Bitcoin is dominating the crypto space. So Bitcoin against every other crypto asset out there. But with every other crypto asset out there, it also goes for stable coins. But the stablecoin market cap here is bigger than here. So, of course, the Bitcoin dominance is lower because it has to compete with more stablecoins. But it doesn't say how Bitcoin is behaving against altcoins, really. So what we can do is take a look at a chart of the Bitcoin dominance, excluding stablecoins. But I'm not that interested in buying Ethereum, actually. I want to get into the other altcoins, right? The lower caps. Like Ethereum is a nice altcoin. I don't like the product, but that's something else. But it's a good altcoin. But it's not the typical, 50x altcoin this cycle. And we want to take a little risk at some point. So what we can do also is take a look at the Bitcoin dominance minus USDT, USDC, and Ethereum. And then the picture is completely different because here the dominance right now is sitting at 51%. However, if we do take a look at this chart, you'll see that the Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 69%. Right now, I must say, it is still in an uptrend, right? We are going up, but the Bitcoin dominance is now finally weakening. We had a high, we had a higher high, we had a higher high, but now we had a lower high and another lower high, right? So the trend is now down. Also, it doesn't have to mean that much, but it is under the bull market support band, which it was here as well, right? And it was still in an uptrend. So we have to see about that. You cannot call for that like too soon. But the Bitcoin dominance actually, if you compare Bitcoin to altcoins, right, it has gone up quite hard, but it looks like it's losing the momentum. It went up to 74%, right? We are now sitting at 69%. So what's interesting is this. if we do take a look, yeah, we had some resistance here, we had support here, we had whatever it was right here, we had some resistance right here, and now we're coming down, and it looks like we're now sitting there as support. So I do want to see this break down though, because we can still go up. But if we do look where we went, you can see that we already kind of topped out at 74%. We had so much support sitting over here. And of course we could have gone a little bit higher, but you cannot exactly go to the top, right? And if we go to this level, I feel like, okay, close enough. So we got rejected right there, and now it looks like we are going down, and that's interesting to me. So if we do take a look at this, 65, 63% first level according to the Fibonacci retracement. So we can actually make it there. If we do take a look at it like this, there we go. Then the golden zone is also coming in at 63, 60%, give or take, right? So this is a huge level, and we could definitely see this level. If that happens, what does it mean? Alt season, okay? This could actually be an alt season if this happens. Now, what's interesting is it doesn't need much, right? If you look at altcoins, for example, which altcoin did well against a Bitcoin pair? AVAX, for example, right? AVAX did pretty crazy against its Bitcoin pair. What did it do? Well, AVAX on its Bitcoin pair, it went up almost 300%, so 4x. Now let's overlay these two. So you know what to expect, because you might feel like, yeah, well, altcoins already run that much against Bitcoin. It could do more. It could do more. All right, because look at this. Overlay AVAX on its Bitcoin pair right here. So let's make it a logarithmic scale right here. Where do I have the button? Fuck it. So here we go. Oh, my computer, it's not working with my... There we go. So in the time that the Bitcoin dominance came down from this point, you see this right here, it's where AVAX on its Bitcoin pair started to go up, right? Here, again, like we said, it did a 4x. How much did the Bitcoin dominance went down while that happened? It went down with, let's say, 9%. So 9% down on the dominance is a 4x, in this case, on AVAX Bitcoin. Okay, from this point, how much can we go down? Well, we know that the golden zone was coming in over here, like 60%. So that's around 13%. That could mean a 5x, give or take, for AVAX Bitcoin. In this case, AVAX Bitcoin, right? But, you know, insert altcoin. You might be like, whoa, bullish on altcoins? Yeah, the market changed. I changed with it, of course, right? You should not be capo. Like, always call bearish, 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 bearish. Bitcoin 100K, bearish. Like, yeah, at a certain point you should change. And there's now, for me, a lot of confirmation that it's also safe to change with it, right? Sometimes you see a low and you be like, oh yeah, now we can buy the dip. But then there's another low and you be like, oh, now buy the dip. Yeah, at a certain point there will be a higher low, right? And that's a confirmation that the trend has changed. Yeah, do you buy the bottom? Well, probably not in that case. But you also don't throw away your money with all these fake lows that happened before. It's a matter of how safe you want to play it, of course. But this means that if the Bitcoin dominance goes down to just the first target, right, that AVAX Bitcoin can do quite incredible. Now, I'm not even talking about different targets, because from this point, eventually, I think that the Bitcoin dominance will go back down to its lows, right? And that's like 24% down, maybe even lower. Because again, like altcoins will do better than Bitcoin eventually, collectively, right? It takes a long time, but if you do take a look, for example, at the others, so the top the top 125 excluding the top 10, you can just see that it's in an upwards trend. So the dominance for altcoins is growing as well. So thought that was quite interesting. So if this move happens, it means that altcoins on their Bitcoin pair can run like very, very, very hard. And if we do take a look at this chart, it is interesting, right? Because it was kind of in the last cycle, it went up. It was ranging in this range between 75 and 80%, give or take, right? That was the range, right? And we also had a range here between 74 and, well, 60, 69%, 70%. We now went up and we went into this range and we are now ranging, right? But it looks like we're already starting to break down from that range. Now, again, like it could be, of course, a fake out and we can go back into that range. Maybe we can go even in this range. But we have a long way to go down, actually. We do have a long way. And it actually looks, for the first time ever, bearish right now, right? Here it was different. Here we had a big, like some kind of a blow off top. We went up very hard and it got sold off right away, right? In this case, we went up and we actually made a distribution phase for a couple of months. We went just sideways and then we break down. So this is not a dump because of a big pump like here. So it actually shows weakness. Every time we get up there, you see these wicks as well. It gets sold off right away. So altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, they can actually run quite hard, if you ask me. Now, again, it doesn't mean we go down straight away. Like said, we are still in this upward trend right here, basically. So there is still, if I can put it on the logarithmic chart, you can see that it's still bullish. Actually, it's still bullish. However, on the shorter time frame, yeah, it's becoming a little bit more bearish, right? We finally start to make some lower highs right now. We haven't actually done that this consistently. So it's for me time to say like, okay, fuck it, let's convert my Bitcoin into altcoins. And what we notice is that, like, yeah, if Bitcoin falls, altcoins can fall very hard as well. But what we now see is that once Bitcoin goes down, if we put it on the daily, you can see it a little bit better, right? Once Bitcoin goes down, you can see that the Bitcoin dominance goes down with it, right? And quite hard as well right now. If we overlay Bitcoin on this, right, this Bitcoin right here, you can see that if Bitcoin goes from $74,000 to 43, yeah, the dominance already goes from 54.5% to 51, right? So if Bitcoin takes its seasonal correction to, let's say, 30K, that's good for the people in altcoins, because that's alt season, actually, right? Because alt season is not necessarily where altcoins go up against the dollar very hard. Alt season is where altcoins outperform Bitcoin. So if that happens, hey, that's good. Altcoins will fly against their Bitcoin pair. Maybe you can then convert some altcoins back into Bitcoin. Make that kind of trade. It's all possible, right? Overall, if you do take a look on the monthly chart for a lot of altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. Let me remove this Bitcoin piece of shit right here. Here we go. Altcoins on the Bitcoin pair. Altora, still quite low. AVAX has to cool off a little bit if you ask me. Beam is new, ChainGPT is new, Cornucopias is quite new, Dio is new, Gala, very low, Illuvium, very low, IMAX, pretty good, top of the range. Chainlink, still quite low compared to where we came from. If you look at it like this, you have, you know, slightly different perspective on it, right? So Chainlink, and it's still IMX low, right? I mean, it went down, accumulation phase right here. And it's at the top of the accumulation phase, of course, but still accumulation phase. But Volker Forge low, Quant Bitcoin low, right? Ronin, also accumulation phase, but Solana broke out. Not interested in that at this point. Superverse low, Ultra low, Veracity low. Like, say whatever you want. Altcoins last couple of months have outperformed Bitcoin, but overall, if you do take a look at these charts, they're still very low. So yeah, like I said before, 2024 is the year for altcoins. It's not necessarily for Bitcoin. We made it, we made it. It depends on when you bought, but Bitcoin already gave a 3x, just like the altcoin market collectively. Some more, some less. But Bitcoin and altcoins made the same returns, but Bitcoin is safer, right? So we had a safe 3x. Now let's convert that 3x into altcoins, and let's write that alt season. So coming videos will be about what I'm gonna buy actually. So yeah, I'm gonna make more content about altcoins. All right, guys, if you do like the video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. There is a Patreon link down below if you want to get exclusive content, one-on-one calls, follow influencer, whale trackers, etc., etc., etc. Do check it out. It's very interesting. See you.